Good morning, everybody. Brenda Hillard here. It's time for another episode of Coffee and Create with Brenda. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I can be found just about on any of the social media platforms as Create with Brenda. So, good morning. Welcome back. If you're a first-time joiner, welcome. I love to have new viewers, new crafters, new customers. So this Coffee and Create with Brenda is just another time for me to reach out to fellow crafters and share the products that I love, which are from Stampin' Up. Today, I'm going to show you how to make this adorable little treat box. The box itself holds like a snack size pack of any of the like the goldfish or the Oreo cookies, or you can just pack it full of any of your favorite Halloween candies. Many of you know me know that I love 3D and I love gifting my customers with 3D gifts when they attend my events and all of that good stuff. So today I'm going to share with you how to make this box. It's very simple, and probably my favorite Halloween candy are the peanut butter kisses. So anyway, the products I'm going to use today are from the Cute Halloween Suite. I'm going to be using the stamp set, the coordinating Halloween punch. I'm going to be using this adorable gingham, black and white gingham checked ribbon. And of course, the designer series paper, Cutest Halloween. And you can see that there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different patterns. Well, let's back up. 8 different sheets. So there's 6 of each, and they're two-sided. So you get 48 sheets of the 8 designs. I think that makes sense. I always get all jumbled up when I'm trying to tell you about that. The other thing that comes in this suite that's adorable, and I'm not going to show you a decorated one because I have another video coming up that will show the decorated, but look at these adorable tombstone treat boxes. Are they not the cutest? And they're 3D also. They stand up or lie down flat. So those are part of the suite, along with a pack, like I said, of the designer series paper. And then look at, there's these cute adhesive stars. And can you tell that I've been using just a few of them? This is my second pack. So love, love, love them. They're adhesive backed, and they're iridescent, and they're kind of they're orange and then a purple, and of course the black. So those all come in the suite of products, and that can be found on page 50 and 51 in the mini catalog. If you don't have a mini catalog, please reach out to me and I will mail one out to you, provided you do not have a demonstrator. And yeah, so the other thing I was going to tell you about is the cost of this entire collection. So everything I've shown you, the stamp set, the punch, the tombstone boxes, the stars, the gingham ribbon, the designer series paper, all of it for $67.50. And do you know what that means? That means it is now the second celebration of the year at Stampin' Up, and it goes through September 30th. So by purchasing this sweet collection, $67.50, you will qualify to pick any of the free with $50 purchase items in the Sale-a-Bration brochure. So if you don't have the Sale-a-Bration brochure or the mini, let me know. I'll mail one out to you. Let's get started with our project. The only thing that I'm going to be using outside of this suite of products is the tailor-made tag dies. These are awesome. I think if you don't have a tag punch or any kind of tags in your stamping arsenal, or even if you do, these are so sweet, and I'll show you a great use for it today. All right, here we go. I'm gonna clear some stuff. I'm gonna need the punch, and I'll give you our paper sizes. So I've got so the fun part too, these treat boxes, out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11, you get 2 boxes. This measures 7.5 by, I think I have that wrong. It's supposed to be 5.5. So let me change that quick so that there isn't confusion. It's 5.5 inches. There we go. Then I have a piece of designer series paper, and this measures 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. And then I have a couple scraps of the designer series paper. And the beauty of this is we don't have to color all of these. They punch right out of the designer series paper. So I'll show you a little tip and trick with that in just a moment too. All right. So is where I want to start is I'm going to bring in my dark pumpkin pie, sorry, Stampin' Blends. Maybe since this is Coffee and Create with Brenda, I will have a sip of my iced coffee and see if I can talk to you better. All right, so I'm going to bring in a piece of scratch paper here. Let's use the other side. And I have this, I want to do this first because I want it to have a little bit of time to dry. But the black and white gingham checked ribbon, okay? Now take a close look at my treat box, and what do you see? Orange and black, right? So, oh my gosh, you guys, when I said orange and black, those were our high school colors, and it just reminded me of a cheer. So look, with the wide tip of my alcohol marker, I'm able to just lightly go over the ribbon and color it to whatever color I choose. So if you wanted pink and white, if you wanted purple or white, yeah, or I'm sorry, yellow and black, you can color the white part of the gingham ribbon to whatever color you want. And because they're alcohol markers and they bleed through, it colors both sides of the ribbon in one swoop. So I'm going to set that off to the side and let it dry a bit. Oh, so that was a good little tip, huh? Then here's another one for us. You know, when we are doing or cutting different things and we end up with these narrow strips and we save them, but then when we really do have a narrow sentiment, we don't always dig out these strips. Here's a really good use for the strips too. So on these designer series papers, you know how they aren't laid out? So like if I wanted to, let's say I was going to punch this cat. Do you see how I would be ruining like 2 of the pumpkins and another cat? So is what I do is I just take a little dab of my multi-purpose glue and I put it on the end of my piece, and then I can just glue that on there. Just give it long enough to stick. And then this can be used. We'll see how good I am with my left hand here because of how I put it on there. But you can see how it forms an extension or an arm that you can reach in there with your small piece of DSP and punch. And look at, you get this adorable little ghost. I'm going to set him off to the side. I'm going to zoom in just a touch for right now. I'm going to need to go out once we do the scoring for our box. Then I can just take that off, and I'm going to stick it on. You know what I want to do, because I'm afraid I don't want to cut into it. So I'm going to take and just cut out the cat, and then I can get rid of this end. Add my dot. Put my little kitten on there. And I did pretty good with my left hand, so I'm going to try it again. See how it's lined up in there? Punch. There's my kitten. And have to kind of look and see how that pumpkin is lined up on there. I'll add my, time to order some more glue. I'm going to just put this on like so. Whoops, I didn't wait long enough for it to dry. Give it a press. I'm just going to layer it in there. And punch. And there's my pumpkin. So hang on to your strips. They're handy dandy. And they help in that whole punching thing if they're a little short. All right, so that's all we need with the punch. I'm going to set that over here. And now I'm going to bring in my big scoring tool. This is our Simply Scored scoring tool, and it works really well for projects like this. I think I just want to get rid of my Coffee and Create logo there in the corner for a minute, and then we can see better. But now remember, this was 7.5 by 5.5, and I'm going to put the 7.5 inch edge on my scoring tool, and I'm going to score this at let me make sure, 2 inches, 3.5, 5.5, and 7. Okay. Then I'm going to turn it on the short end, and I am going to score at 1.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches. Okay. So that's all we need for scoring for now. Whenever you're doing like these boxes or bags or any of that, you want to make sure and really give your score lines a good crease. It just makes your box box bag, whatever you're doing, fit together better, and gives it nice sharp edges, and it makes it look very, very crisp and neat. Okay, so now that I've done all of my folds, you can see it makes it more pliable. On this side, we have grab my scissor. I'm getting too much stuff out here, you guys, and now I can't find my little, oh, here it is right here beside me. My little snips. So as what I have is just on this 1/2 inch piece, I'm going to take this piece out and snip. And then this is going to be the bottom of our box. So I'm just going to cut right up to the first score line on our box. So just like that. Now on these little tabs, I'm going to fold this one back so you can see what I'm doing. I'm just gonna, I call it miter, the corners, is all it does is when you fold them over to form the bottom of your box, it just makes it nice and neat and you don't have any ragged edges sticking out. So again, on this smaller tab, I folded the big one back. I'm just gonna give each of those just a little miter, little triangle that I snip off from there. And you can see it's thin. Okay, so now our box is ready to assemble. I'm going to fold this over. Oh, one more little miter. I'm going to give this corner a little snip right there. So on that 1/2 inch tab, now I'm going to use my tear and tape. And this is sticky on one side and has like a wax paper backing on the other. So I'm going to put that as close to the edge here as I can without going over. And tear and tape, because we can just tear it off just like that. And a roll of this lasts a very long time, and that's available in my online store as well. So I'm going to peel the backing off from that, and then all I have to do is just take this and fold it in half. So there we have our box. So for the bottom, remember those 2 tabs we mitered? That's good. So I'm going to take just wanted to look and see. This went together so nicely, I can't even see where my edge is. Okay, so I want that to be the back of my box. And I'll explain that in just a minute. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a couple pieces of the tear and tape to the bottom flap of the box. And again, we'll lift the wax paper piece off from there. All right, so then I can just fold the 2 mitered flaps in. I'm going to bring the big flap down and then just square up the bottom of our box. Nice, right? All right, so okay. When I was talking about the back, I'm putting this seam where the box came together towards the back of the box, okay? My 3D piece. Now, keeping this square, I'm just going to gently pinch the top, and it kind of forms, I call it like a milk carton box, okay? See that? So I'm just pinching. And now, to make our closure for this adorable little box, this is where we're going to use the tailor-made tag. And I'm using the largest tag with the angled corners. So I've got my mini, and I've got my platform 1, platform 2. I'm going to put in my scrap piece of basic black and my tag. I'm just going to roll this through. And we end up with the stitched tag. How cute is that? I don't think, oh, you can see the stitching on it if I bring it up really close. And what we're going to need then for that is to bring in our trimmer. And I want to just cut this down to 3 inches. So the scrap be gone. And then we're going to score it. And I want to make sure I'm telling you the right. Yes, I want to score it at 1.5. So remember, our score blade is the light gray, so I'm just going to score it. Hold it on the score line, and we'll give that a good crease as well. Now I'm going to bring in my multi-purpose liquid glue and shake it down because I'm getting to the bottom of my glue bottle. Give that some glue. And I like using glue for this instead of the tear and tape because it gives me a minute to reposition. I'm just going to lay that on there and get it all squared up, and then I can hold it into place. And that's how we're going, that forms the closure for our little treat box. And I took it apart kind of soon, as you can see, because the glue hadn't dried yet. All right, while that's drying, let's put our piece of designer series paper on. And remember, this measured 1 7/8 by 2 3/8. This paper is just adorable. All right, I'm done with that one. Let's get one that's full. Here we go. Oh, look at how easy that is. Much better. I'm just going to put this little black and white boo paper on here. So there's my paper. And now we can bring in our colored ribbon. So is what you're going to want to do before you really tie your ribbon is to stuff your treat box, but I'm not ready to do that. So I'm just going to give you the demonstration here of what I'm doing. I'm going to thread this ribbon up through the hole, and then I can just tie it closed to form the bow. Right on top like that. And you're probably going to want a piece of ribbon, or when you color your ribbon's going to want, you're going to want it to be about, I don't know, 20 to 24 inches long. You'll have extra, but then that gives you a little bit more ribbon for tying power, okay? So there's our ribbon on the box. And then I'm just going to take our little pumpkin here, and I'm going to glue him straight down onto the box. And then using a standard dimensional, our little ghost guy that we punched here, I'm going to put him right in here, hug him in. And then we'll give our little kitten a bit of glue, and we'll tuck her right back here. Just like that. Now, let's bring in our cute stars, adhesive backed sequins. And I'm just going to get my take your pick tool, and I'm going to add a few stars on, one onto the pumpkin. We'll give one to the, I think I dropped it here. We'll give one to the little ghost. And give our little kitten one too. All right, there you have it. Little Halloween treat box. I hope you've enjoyed today's episode of Coffee and Create with Brenda. And I look forward to seeing you again next week. Bye for now.